All right, good morning, everybody. It is me, your health coach, Callie, back again. Last time I talked about I've never ever cut a papaya before, and that is still the case. Well, not really the case because I actually did cut it this time, but it was super easy to do. And now I'm gonna take the flesh of the papaya and make some juice. Now, I don't normally like papaya by itself because it just, I don't know, the flavor is just weird. And it's probably only because we live in the United States, but maybe if you go to another country, because I had papaya in like the Caribbean and Hawaii, various places like that, but I have in Mexico, but I have not had it taste very good in the United States. So anyhow, but what I will say, when you put it with other things, it does taste good. So a little bit about me. I am Health Coach Callie. I'm actually vegan, and I have been vegan now for 15 or so years. My son is getting ready to turn 20 years old, so I've been vegan since he was about 4. And guys, I tell you, it completely changed my life because at the time I was suffering, I was like 30, suffering from all kinds of health issues. I had a bunch of fibroids in my uterus and kept going to get surgeries, getting needle aspirations in my breast because they kept talking about, oh, you've got, a cyst in your breast and we want to make sure that we biopsy it to make sure that it's not cancerous. It never was, thank God. So blessed in that area. It never was, but I did have a cyst removed. Didn't know that cysts could actually heal themselves and go away on their own if you allow the perfect environment for it to do so. So I don't know if I'm cutting up this papaya the right way. You guys that eat papaya on a regular basis, y'all let me know. But this is what we're doing. So anyway, I had a bunch of health issues, and they're all female related, right? Female related, 30 something, started gaining weight. And I'm like, hold on, something needs to happen. So all of my research back then was about food, what you consume, what you put in your body, exercise, all the things that will help to heal you from fibroids. So I had my final fibroid surgery. Oh, by the way, I had like 3 fibroid surgeries prior to the last one. And they always came back, or they just didn't get them all because they're so small, and those small ones tend to grow. I was facing infertility, not being able to have a baby, which is stressful in itself. And I was like, no, I refuse to be cut on again. I have got to do something different when it comes to these fibroids. So again, everything that I was reading always led back to the food that I was consuming. So I completely changed my diet. Started out vegetarian, so eating a lot more vegetables, and then went to completely plant-based, which again, I've been plant-based for 15 years now, completely plant-based. And now I'm actually trying out raw vegan because I feel like in different seasons in your life, your body calls and craves for different types of food. So with that being said, I'm trying raw vegan, and I will tell you, I felt amazing. I am a person that is in that stage of my life where I've experienced some menopausal symptoms, not too terribly bad, except for those sweats is a nightmare, right? For those of you that have experienced it. So I feel like when I consume more fruit and vegetables that are natural in the environment, that don't have sugar and seed oil and it's not cooked, like when I eat fruit and drink smoothies and drink juice, I don't have as many hot flashes at all. In fact, they're pretty much gone. Now, in a typical human fashion, you're used to the things that you're used to, right? So because I was eating a lot of plant-based junk food, I feel like it was kind of exacerbating those freaking hot flashes. So here we are again, making another transition in life to see how overall it's gonna help my health, right? It's gonna help my health. All right, so I've cut up the papaya. Let me go and grab a dish to put this in because I also have to cut up the pineapple, fresh pineapple next, and we're gonna put it in the juicer after that. Okay, so, rinse that out. I don't know about y'all, but I don't care. If it's my own cabinet, I always gotta rinse things out. All right, so here's the papaya. Yum, yum. All right, So I'm gonna put that in my little bowl. Minus the seeds. And then we're gonna cut up some pineapple. So a little bit more about myself. So after I did all the research and found out about fibroids and the cause and how to rid myself of them naturally after that final surgery. The final surgery, the doctor moved like 80 something fibroids from my uterus. No joke, guys, 80 something fibroids from my uterus. And at the time, I had gone to a specialist in California that specialized in fibroid removal. He used to be a heart doctor and figured out how to remove your uterus, safely remove all of the fibroids from your uterus in a pretty lengthy surgery and not have to have a hysterectomy, which I did not want a hysterectomy because all the things that I read about how hysterectomies just kind of throw everything out of balance and you're just not feeling like yourself for several years after you've had the hysterectomy, and I just did not want that. So anyway, I chose the route to go to a specialist for my third and final fibroid removal surgery. And again, that was a little bit after my son was born, I believe. So he's 19, so I don't know. Might have been even before. No, it was after. So after he was born. So almost 20 years ago. And so with that being said, now I'm getting ready to cut the pineapple, y'all. So with that being said, I had the surgery. He moved, 80 some fibroids from my uterus. I have the video to prove it if y'all don't believe it. And after that, I said enough is enough. I'm over it. I'm done with this, and I'm going to change my entire life. So then that's when, so it's 20 years ago that I became vegetarian and 15 since I've been vegan. So that's when I just decided to completely change my lifestyle. I started exercising, started incorporating more fruit and vegetables, drinking less alcohol. I'm completely alcohol free. Like, I don't drink any alcohol now, unless it's a special occasion, like we're celebrating something, and that may be like one time a year. And I just don't like how it makes me feel. Anyway, I started exercising and everything just kind of got back in order. And mind you, I was in my 30s at that point. So fast forward after that, after I did all the research and figured out, oh my God, it's everything that I'm eating, I went on this mission. I wanted to learn all about nutrition. I wanted to become a personal trainer so I could start training the kids, raise the kids in the way that you would want them to go so that they will not depart from it later on in life, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start out with the kids and train them on the reasons why we have to eat more vegetables, less soda, less processed food, chips and all that stuff. So I went and got a personal training certification. I did that for a year. And then after that, I went to this nutrition school, and I think I graduated in 2015. It's now 2025. Nutrition school is called Integrative Nutrition. So I did that. It was like a year-long program. Learned a lot about nutrition from people who have been in this industry for a very, very long time. Learned about bioavailability, learned about our mental health and how it affects our overall habits. I learned about the things that may be missing in our life that makes us get to a point where we emotionally eat, how we have to really fix those things, and they need to be in equilibrium for us to thrive, and like stress and how that affects the body. It's not just food, y'all. It's not just food. And have you ever been a person that you worked out a lot? I can attest to this. You think you can outwork a bad diet? You can't. Just be clear. You can't outwork a bad diet, so don't even try. So you have to get the mental in order, get the diet in order, and then start on a workout plan. So even when you're doing all of that, you want to start like working out, you want to start maybe walking or doing some yoga, whatever you need to do to start on a healthy lifestyle journey, I recommend it. So fast forward, guys, 20 something years later, no sign of any fibroids, no sign of any cysts in my body, no signs of anything like that besides those hot flashes that was causing me problems and causing me problems since the time I was 20 years old. In fact, when I changed my diet back then, when I would have my cycle, ladies, it was pretty much nothing. My cycle would last for like a day, if that. And the bleeding, the heavy bleeding went away. So if you're a person that experiences a lot of problems from your time of the month, your lady time of the month, then you may want to consider just trying it out. Trying for 30 days. I encourage you to try it for 30 days. Take meat, cheese, yogurt, anything that comes from an animal, just take it out of your diet for the 30 days. If you want to have like fish, you can try that, but certainly mostly fruit and vegetables. Try fish, but certainly take out the chicken, take out the beef, take out the dairy. No dairy, no dairy. I cannot stress that enough, because all the hormones and the chemicals that go into processing cheese, and I don't care if it's low fat cheese, none of that. So no dairy. Try it for 30 days. And then when you have your next cycle, come back and let us know how it worked out, if you saw any changes, because I certainly did. And I actually, again, I like to try stuff out of myself. I would go like, oh, well, the next month, let me eat a meatball and see what happens. The next month, my cycle was super heavy, super heavy. The next month, I would just go back to my old eating habits with just fruit and vegetables, mostly fruit and vegetables, and just all, vegan food. And next month, cycle, literally nothing. So 2 days, barely even a spot, barely even a spot. No cramping, so no PMS, they call it. Like, it's been so long, I can't even remember. So no premenstrual syndrome at all. And it doesn't have to be like that. So they have led us to believe that this is just how it's supposed to be. I experienced heavy periods from the time that I had a period, which was a very, very long time. I was in my early teens, probably like 11 years old. And I would struggle. And so some of you guys that are struggling, missing school, missing work on the first day of your period because it's so heavy and you're cramping so heavily, you got headaches, abdominal pain, and you're experiencing all these PMS issues, try this. It will work for you. And then come back and let me know how it works. So try it 30 days. Give yourself full 30 days. So when you end your cycle, the next time you get ready to begin your cycle again, you should see an improvement if you stick to it. So 30 days of just all fruit and vegetables, no meat. You can incorporate a little fish, don't have anything fried, maybe salmon or something like that, and then let me know how it goes. All right, so we're ready to make our juice. And I'm just gonna put everything in here. Pineapple. I just love me some fresh pineapple, y'all. It is so delicious, oh my God. And we're gonna see how this papaya work out. We're gonna see, and y'all gonna see on the video. We're gonna see. I might even put some herbs in there. I feel like it would taste great with like mint. Yeah, we have some mint in the refrigerator and some basil. All right, so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and turn our juicer on. Got the little containers in the wrong spot. See what we got. I'm gonna actually grab some mint out of the refrigerator. I feel like it'll just be so refreshing. Fresh organic mint, y'all. And I try and cut off the stems because sometimes they get caught in the juicer. I'm trying to cut off as many of the stems as I possibly can. And here's our mint. Put that in there. And then what I normally do is put something heavier on top. So we got way more papaya. So we're just gonna throw that in there. This is our pineapple papaya juice. This is my first time making this combination. Pineapple, papaya, fresh papaya, and mint. And we're gonna see how it tastes. looks delicious. Jeez. So pretty and vibrant. All right, everybody. So that is our papaya pineapple juice. Cheers. Let me know how you like it. Peace.